Hi there. It's Monday morning, July 24th, 2023. It's gorgeous outside, and so I'm sitting in my back patio to record this video. I wish I had a topic to discuss that was gorgeous, but it's anything but. This video is a companion to the blog post that I have regarding the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, the church body in which I was a minister. It's abbreviated LCMS. They are meeting in convention beginning the end of this week. And so I've written a blog post about one of the proposed resolutions regarding, it's a catch-all that took a bunch of overtures to the convention regarding marriage, sexuality, specifically condemning homosexuality, and the topic of transgender, gender dysphoria. What they say in this resolution is gender fluidity. And the resolution, I'm not going to talk about marriage or homosexuality. Those are not in my focus. I have made my focus because I experienced gender dysphoria, lived as a transgender person, and have learned, I pray, everything about it, more than I ever thought I would or wanted to. And so that's my sole focus, is the resolution's goal to condemn anyone who accepts that gender fluidity can be a real thing, that it's nothing more than a sinful proclivity, a desire that's outside of God's will. No. It's outside of God's will in the way he created the world, and he made human beings male and female. It was not his will when he made the world. Very good, he pronounced it, that anyone would suffer gender dysphoria or find they need to live as a transgender person. It also wasn't his good and gracious will that anyone would suffer cancer, would ever break a leg, and just keep going right down the line with the myriad of maladies, illnesses, diseases which befall human beings. This is where the LCMS falls short. As the way this resolution is written, as so many articles appear in their magazines and sermons leave the lips of their ministers, and right down the line, any way a person can read or hear, the vast majority of leaders in the LCMS, they act as if though when God created the world very good, male and female, that it's impossible, that all of the horrible things that can happen to a human being, one that is impossible to happen would be a real physical convoluting of what goes on inside a person regarding their sex, their gender, their chromosomes, their hormones. So I'm going to go over my two favorite, easiest to understand examples of how human beings are not straightforward male and female. I like to use Swyer syndrome, in which women, they appear to be women, they're outwardly appear to be women, but they have XY chromosomes. That's male chromosomes. Females should be XX chromosomes. But when they don't begin to menstruate, when they hit puberty, and if a chromosome test is done and they find they have XY chromosomes, they find they don't have the female internal sex organs, though outwardly they appear female. Something happened when they were forming in the womb, so they formed chromosomally as male, but outwardly as female. So what are they? Are they male or female? They are in fact a combination of the two. Then there is an androgen insensitivity syndrome where males are born with XXY chromosomes. Males are supposed to have XY chromosomes. And these are people who outwardly are male with male sex organs outwardly, but they also have XX chromosomes, what a female has. So if a person is an XXY chromosomally, if they experience themselves as female, are they experiencing themselves incorrectly according to their chromosomes? Folks, there are so many chromosomal and hormonal conditions, not to mention the intersex conditions that are obvious to the eye, especially of the genitals, but also internally, that demonstrate that human beings are not necessarily created strictly male and female. And then there are those folks who, as my situation was, I had gender conflict ever since I was 11 years old. And when I was 55, it finally worsened to where it was gender dysphoria that I couldn't live with myself, and I found myself suicidal. But when I went on hormone replacement therapy and reversed my hormones, I experienced this change in my mind where I experienced myself as a male. Now, it took 5 years to resolve and settle in, but today I have almost no testosterone in me, and based on the estradiol, that's estrogen, that I shot into my leg last night, that I do every Sunday afternoon, I have the sex hormone levels of a female my age, and yet I experience myself as completely male. And I didn't decide to feel this way. This is what happened to me physically. I'm going to say scientifically, something that can be looked at with the eye. And I'm not the only man. I now know of at least 3 like myself. So, the LCMS is doing a grave disservice. In the blog piece, I say they are sinning against their people who experience gender dysphoria, who identifies transgender, and the loved ones who are suffering along with them, but who are only hearing condemnation of them in their congregations, by their pastors, by the LCMS in general. I'm here to talk to anybody. I pray I have only demonstrated in all my years of blogging that I'm a reasonable person. I don't scream at anyone. I don't make fun of. I don't. Wow, I've just gone blank of the mind, and I'm coming up to 8 minutes, which is my self-imposed limit. So I'll leave it there. Read the blog post. Get educated. The Lord be with you. Amen.